Righty. I was thinking about making up some crazy wily excuses, which is why I'm not here. You know, like I've been to the moon or something, and yeah, but I don't think you can quite believe that. But the actual reason I haven't posted any videos is because I've been so goddamn fucking lazy. When I'm not working, I'm just chilling out or commuting, which is also a pain in the arse. But anyway. I've just been really super lazy with doing stuff at the moment. I have, yeah, my mum's been asking me to tidy up this alley for 2 weeks, and I just still haven't got around to doing it because I can't be bothered. In fact, there's actually a film waiting for me inside, which the second I've done this video I can go in and watch. But the go-kart is some main thing I really want to talk about, is because a lot of you've seen a very short clip of it, but no pictures, no follow-up from that. The reason I haven't uploaded any of the old footage is partly down to laziness as well, but because the footage when I filmed it in HD because I had an editing software for it. It took a long time, but I could edit, and I went to go and use it the other day, and it was actually turned out it was a trial, and the trial was run out. So I effectively now have no HD editing software, which now means I have to convert all my video files so they're not in HD, and it's all a very time-consuming process, which I can't be able to do right now. So I have many other things I need to be doing with my life right now, such as getting this go-kart done. Once this go-kart's done and running, I'm probably keep it for a few months and keep it running around and make sure it's reliable and stuff before I sell it, because I plan on getting on the road soon, and I cannot afford to have this and a car. Also, keep it between you and me, I plan on leaving my work relatively soon. The second I get on the road will be the second I leave that hellhole, because they're pissing me off at the moment. What else? But anyway, let's talk about the go-kart quick. The reason it's here is because, and in bits, because I was driving around at work, and repeatedly I kept having problems with the rear axle, just losing drive to the wheel. I say wheel because it was one-wheel drive. It was due to this here, this hole I drilled through. I put a pin in it which locked it to the wheels, and that's what gave me my drive. But I eventually stripped off the piece on the wheel where I carved the notch out of it, stripped that off. So I brought it home, I swapped the wheels around, redid it. Instead of using a pin, I used a bolt with two big washers that tightened it all up. That worked pretty well for a while, until the bolt kept snapping, so I had to keep taking more and more bolts in. Eventually the wheel died again. It just wore itself out, so I ended up having no wheel drive. And when it breaks while you're driving, it's also quite dangerous because, well, when the brakes, when you lose your throttle, because where the axle's turning, the wheels aren't. Well, if you're on the gas, put your foot down, the axle turns, the wheels don't. Put your foot on the brakes, the axle stops, wheels don't. It's rather dangerous. Although this thing has a very tight lock, so you can just turn very sharply and it slows down rather quickly. And to be honest, the steering on this thing is brilliant, unless you're on wet grass. If you're on wet grass, I mean, it does 360s, sorry. But it is a hell of a lot of fun. The engine, with this engine stock, except for the governor being removed, which I removed when I got the engine. This go-kart's never been run with a governor on it. The engine was letting me go 25 miles an hour. I had a friend beside me on his bike. Yeah, I was doing 25 miles an hour, which was pretty good actually, considering. And I brought it home for the first repairs on the axle, and I decided while it was here I may as well jet it. I jetted it and had it going 40 miles an hour, which when you're on, theoretically, a table frame, is absolutely shit the pants scary. It was, I've got to say though, this thing is absolutely brilliant fun. It managed to last an entire afternoon with only one replacement bolt in the axle, which rather surprised me, actually. With both of my bosses, me and one of the other people I work with, we were all playing around on it, taking people up and down the field. My boss is taking his kids up and down the field on it, and it stood up quite well. And the engine I've never had a problem with, except for me leaving the sump bolt loose in it and coming to it one morning to find it in a puddle of oil. But yeah, other than that, it's been fine. Steering is brilliant. Brakes are absolutely astronomically sharp. Like, it's not like any other brake pedal when you feel resistance and it slowly gets harder and harder. This thing is kind of nothing, and it stops. And that sudden stop, it's kind of like it's got no breakthrough in it. It goes completely flat to the floor. But it's it's interesting to say the least. I've been driving this thing on grass before and not realising that it's skidding for the best part of fucking 25 metres. Because I can manage to get like a skid going. We've got 100 metres on our athletics track, and I'm skidding at least a quarter of it. It is brilliant fun. But you know, this thing here. Oh, this is fun. Other than the fact that I've got the chain and everything nice and clean now with our jet wash thing at work, I was hoping that getting all the grease and dirt and crap off the chain would make the gears work properly. I don't think that did anything, but I've now noticed. Well, I found out how to change gears in this thing now. This thing here is a little bit out of sync. You kind of have to, if you want to change up, you kind of click it once until it goes to the next gear, and then you have to bring it up a little bit further until you hear the gear change, then you can let off. Just don't let it click. Yeah, because otherwise you just end up in the gear that you were in before. Yeah, anyway, it's very fucked up. I need to sort it, but you know. Then we've got that bike there, which you can't see. It's got the Honda engine on. But basically, that thing I want to get dragged out and sorted out soon. It's not out the window, it's just laziness. I need to get that sorted out because I mean, my partner drives, but I don't want to rely on him having to constantly drive me back and forwards, so I've been taking the bus. And it's, other than the fact it's depressing, way too expensive, and I just don't like buses. I've decided that I wanted to start biking, and this thing here, how am I going up there on this? Especially considering there's a hill which is almost fucking vertical, and I'm not driving a bike up it unless I have an engine, which that is what I will be using that for. Let's turn the lights off here. I'll show you. Go show you the front of the Peugeot. I think this door is unlocked. Is it? Yeah. How mild is it? There's its actual bumper, and I'm sure you've seen the other one looking at the back there. That one there's same as that, except that one there has fog lights and is being painted. So I have fog lights in this. I've already run all the wiring. It just needs installing, but I'm painting the car first, as you can tell by the paintwork. Of course, the wheels are going white and I've got mud flaps on it. That's the only real difference. This I got a little bit angry with earlier. Yeah. So that's been thrown around a little bit. Even though it wasn't that was just causing the problem, but you know. It was a stupid fucking balance charger. It's fucked. Oh well. Plug this stuff in. I can't start the car at the moment because the battery's dead. I can't charge it, and my spare battery, the scrap man has stolen, so I now have no means of starting it. But other stuff on it. The instrument cluster's out yet again. This car seems to be accustomed to having its instrument cluster taken out. What's going on at the moment? New instrument cluster. You might remember that I modified an instrument cluster once to have the rev count and the mechanical speedo, along with a temperature gauge and fuel gauge. But I didn't like it because it didn't have the oil temperature and all that crap on it. So, and part of the fact the modifications apparently were a little bit too much for it, and circuits started to die. So I bought another one. This one is still electrical. I'm keeping this one electrical. I did buy a sender, this one, but I've cooked it, so I have to buy a new one. This one was relatively cheap anyway because it was second hand. I've got the temperature gauge. This here is actually an oil temperature and oil level. When you first turn it on, you see it's got this second indicator on the inside. The one there, it lights up white when you turn the engine on. Well, when you turn the ignition on, comes up, tells you your oil level, and then once the after I think it's about 30 seconds, that light goes out, and then the needle will drop to the oil temperature. So basically, it only tells you the oil level while the engine's standing, which is a good thing. Yeah, the engine temperature is now working. I have installed the temperature gauge, temperature sender in, and wired that up. Rev counter, of course, still working. That there, I think I've sussed out the wiring because, notice, there's another fucking Peugeot in the drive. That's my sister's Peugeot. In fact, there was my other sister's Peugeot, but she sold it to my other sister, who can't drive, so now there's 2 Peugeots now stuck in the fucking driveway. Which is kind of handy, because that one there's a little bit more modern, even though mine's superiorly better, I'm sure you'll agree. Because mine's the Mark 1, and the Mark 1 is just automatically much better looking, and just overall better than the Mark 2, because the Mark 2 is just too bubble-like. Anyway, so, long story short, I'm using the blue one at the moment to find out what the fuck the wires are for the speedo. It's only 3 wires. One, I believe, is a live input. 2 and 3 are both ground, but one's an input ground, one's an output one's an output pulse kind of thing. So it needs a 12 volt supply, and as this turns, it pulses a negative signal out to this, because the negative wire from that, if you drag it across the threads on the steering column, which is of course rounded, the click, 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 click across the threads makes the needle move. Hence the reason that there is moved. It's not sitting on naught anymore. So, yeah, it does work. It's all good. So that's really it. I need to get those gauges in. I need to get that in. I need to beat that panel. I need to paint the car. Oh my god, there's so much to do. And I'm just so fucking lazy at the moment. I don't know why it is. It's only been for the last... Hang on, what's the date today? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know what time it is. But anyway, there we go, because I got a text message which I received a little while ago, which I should have replied to. So anyway, I'll see you later.